Yo, what is going on, guys? Hello and welcome back to the Residual Royalty Academy. I know it's been a little while since I made a video, but this month my royalties have been going up substantially, and there's a lot of things that I've been learning about myself by publishing my own books on Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark in the last few weeks and months. So I wanted to share some of these with you, and these are going to be 6 ingredients or edges that I've coined the term you must have to succeed on Amazon KDP. So I did post this Facebook status in the Residual Royalty Academy group. It didn't receive much love, only 1 like from Juwan Bourne, but I wanted to expand on it right here in this video because I think this is super important, and a lot of people sort of ignore this, and this is why they don't succeed on Amazon KDP. So we're going to look at these 6 different edges as I've coined the term, and I'm going to explain each of them and give you a little bit of information about each one. But basically, you're going to want to stack as many of these as possible for every single book that you make, and this is going to give you the highest chance of success. So the first thing is probably the most obvious one, is just to have a higher quality interior and a higher quality book cover than everybody else. And that means, you know, your book cover is the best, your book formatting is the best, the actual information inside your book is the best, whether that be a high content book or whether it just be like a simple low content book. That just means you're going to have the best quality, the best information out of everybody in your book. And one way to do this, one way to create an amazing book cover is to use 99 Designs. I will leave a link to it in the description. Basically, 99 Designs, instead of you going and hiring one designer and just hoping they come up with something good, essentially on 99 Designs, you're paying a little bit more money, probably, I think it's now $180 for one book cover, which seems a lot, but you know, if you're already spending hundreds of dollars on getting a book written, what's another $180 to make a beautiful cover? You know, it seems like you're already invested in it, so you may as well get the best cover you can, right? So basically how it works is you create this contest, and instead of you going out to designers, they come to you, right? So you just post your project, and you'll get probably 30 or 40 different designs in, and you just sort of refine the ones that you like with the designers that you like, and you end up with a beautiful book cover that you've chosen, you know, out of maybe 40 different designs that you've received. And you also get the source files, and you get all the copyright acknowledgements that you'll need for KDP as well from the designer. So it works really well, and you end up with a really high quality book cover. And a lot of my most successful books right now have been made with 99 Designs, so it's worth the investment, I would say, as long as it's like a big book that you're putting a lot of effort into. If you're making simple, low content, then sure, you don't need to do it on every single book because you're going to be losing money if you're doing it on every single book. So be selective with it is basically what I would say. So the second part is going to be about reviews. So a lot of people, they're doing a lot of things right, they're doing a few things right, but they're still just not getting reviews on their book, especially in the first couple of weeks. And it's super important that you have reviews on your books because it's going to be part of the Amazon algorithm. And, you know, the more social proof your book has, the more people are going to buy it. And Amazon's just going to put your book higher the more reviews it has. So there is some sort of secret stuff that I'm going to be sharing in my Low Content Elite Society course. I really shouldn't have named it that because it's, you know, a lot of what I'm doing now is high content. A lot of what I'm teaching now is more high content as well. So I really named it badly. But yeah, I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff about reviews because there's some stuff going on with the reviews that a lot of people really don't know about. So it's definitely worth talking about that as well in some more detail. So obviously, like I've written here, there are some simple ways to get reviews. You can get a lot of success with Booksprout. You can get a lot of success with Puppy. And yeah, also Facebook groups as well is probably the best one to use right now. Just going to a similar Facebook group to your niche. So let's say you're making a gardening book, you're going to just go and post your book in this gardening group and say, hey, we just published this book. Let me know if you want a free copy of it and in return for a review. And then that's a pretty simple way to get reviews, and it's not going against any terms and conditions. So that's a pretty cool one right there. Let's just actually write this in. Facebook groups. Okay. Now, the third one is another one that a lot of people skip out on, and is going to be ad spend. So, you know, this market is really publisher versus publisher. Okay. So there's going to be people publishing in the same niches. Now, if we both have exactly the same book, let's say me and you, but I have a bigger ad spend, my book's going to beat yours because I can spend more money to get my book at the top of the search results and you can't. So I'm going to be generating these sales, and even if I'm doing it at break even or losing a little bit of money on the ads, even if my ACOS is like 30, 40, 50, even 50%, you know, just by having those sales from ads, my book is going to get higher because of the organic sales that are going to be made from that as well. So, you know, every sale on ads increases your BSR, and so if your BSR is better, there's more people going to see it organically as well. So, you know, if you don't have a big ad spend, then you need to work on increasing your ad spend. You know, work more hours in your job, or, you know, invest more money of your savings into ad spend because ultimately, if you're not spending money on ads, your book is never going to be seen, especially on Amazon KDP as well. So let's go on to number 4, which is going to be insider knowledge. Now, there's going to be a few different aspects to this. So like I said here, if we zoom in, it's not only like secrets that sort of I teach in the course and secrets that you may show your friends about publishing. You say, oh, hey, this thing is really working right now to launch the book. Hey, this thing is really good right now to launch. Hey, this niche is really good right now. That sort of publishing knowledge. Industry knowledge is another thing, right? So right now I'm subscribed, and I've only started to do this recently. I've subscribed to like all of the publishing websites, not like YouTube guru websites, more like real publishing websites where they're giving you information. So, you'll get a newsletter one day and it'll say, okay, since this time last year, the Spanish audiobook market has increased by 100%. And to me, that's very valuable to know, because now I'm thinking, maybe I should be making these kind of books if the trend is increasing, or maybe a trend for another sort of thing is decreasing. So these are the things you really want to be knowing as well. You want to know what's going in. You want to know what's going on in the industry, and people really don't talk about this on YouTube. And the final thing for this is sort of niche knowledge, right? So let's say you've been gardening for 10 years, just to keep the same example. If you've been gardening for 10 years and you're making a high content book about gardening, you may not even be writing it yourself, but it's going to be helpful when you're editing the book that if you know something about the niche, let's say you're a computer programmer, you're making a book about computer programming, obviously you've got an advantage compared to others. So that's just another part of the insider knowledge as well. So let's hide this last one and let's do number 5. So this is, obviously it's very difficult to be the very first to market, but the earlier you can be in a niche, the better. So one of my best-selling books ever that I made in 2020 was in a low content niche and now has 1,300 reviews. And the reason for that is because I was simply very, very early to the niche. I published in this niche when there was maybe a couple of competitors. And, now there's probably way more competitors. But because I was first, because I was early, I had a huge advantage. And people obviously overlook this as well. Let's look at number 6 now. So this is probably one of the most important ones I've been thinking about lately. So hard or expensive to create. If the book is difficult to make or it's very expensive to make, you're going to have way more chance at success because other people are going to be scared away from it, right? If you're making a 10-hour audiobook, right, that's going to cost you, let's say using $100 per finished hour, that's going to cost you already $1,000 just for the narration. To get a 10-hour book written, that's going to be something like 100,000 words. It may be a couple of $1,000s to get that made. So if you're already starting to talk about a book costing you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to make, and it's very expensive to make, you need to think about it a lot, then ultimately that's going to put a lot of people off, meaning there's less competition in the niche, which gives you an edge. Now, ultimately, how this all works, let's delete this, is if you can find a niche and you can make a book that hits all of these 6, then you're going to have a very good chance of getting a successful book that makes you hundreds of dollars per month in profit. And more importantly, and your book is going to stay winning for longer because you hit these things where, like, for example, you have more reviews than everyone else. The book is difficult to make, so it's not going to attract too many competitors. And yeah, that pretty much covers everything I want to say. Just hit as many of these as you can. And yeah, comment down below with which edge you like the best, or maybe which one you found the most useful. So that's everything for this video. Make sure you subscribe, the like button if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video.